Hello and welcome to the team selection for Gameweek 30, but first of all, how has Gameweek 29 been treating you? Let me know in the comments. This was recorded before the two last games of the game week was played. The score so far is 42 points, a red arrow from 32k to 38k, and it could be worse until the game week is over. So how did the Game Week 29 players do? Let's check it out. The defenders and goalkeeper keeps producing. With a bench this good, it's hard decisions that needs to be made each week. But Henderson had the fixture and outscored Pope in the end, but he was lucky to do so. Spurs had 2 shots on goal versus Pope, and one of them was a penalty, so don't beat yourself up if you started Pope. It was no surprise that Liverpool was going to concede with Alisson out injured. Van Dijk has been due an offensive return for a while and he always ticks along nicely. Doherty came into the side and Bolly is first on the bench with 8 points. The hope is that Bolly gets to play if De Bruyne or Perez doesn't play their game. A hit was taken just before deadline when Pepe with a double game week came in for Grealish. Pepe also got the armband, but Arsenal had not much going for them in the derby. They could have had 2 penalties, so that would have been Pepe's best shot at it, but it was not meant to be. Salah didn't look that great, but he took his goal in a very skilled way and he did deserve the return after all. It's starting to look a little bit like bad choices to pick 3 attackers each week. This time all 3 of them blanked. It's almost as if Jimenez is better in away games. Calvert-Lewin had a tough fixture and it's natural to blank in those, but Ings has to step up. He has been class all season up until recently, and all of a sudden it seems that Southampton have a dip in form. Now it's time to take a look at the transfer plan. The team has 7 players for blank Game Week 31, so the next couple of transfers will try to address that, but there's not many players from that Game Week 31 who also has a good fixture in 30 as well. If we look at which teams has a good game in 30, there's Wolves who plays West Ham, Chelsea who plays Aston Villa, Southampton and Norwich who faces each other, and then there's Manchester City versus Burnley, and lastly Arsenal versus Brighton. Out of those teams, only Wolves has a fixture in Game Week 31, so it seems best to roll the transfer in order to have 2 free ones before the Game Week 31, where some tough decisions will have to be made. So here's the probable lineup for Game Week 30. Pope plays Manchester City, so it's a no-brainer to start Henderson in goal. We should not expect a clean sheet for Liverpool in the away derby, but who knows, and they have a good amount of attacking threat to them. Doherty is the informed defender in the league, together with Alonso. Pepe still keeps his place in the team, but I don't recommend getting him in really. Socrates started playing on the right-hand side for Arsenal, which for Pepe means he has no real attacking partner to help him out in that wing, so he's very isolated. Salah and KDB are competing for the armband. If KDB is fit, it's going on him since Salah has only scored 2 goals in away games this season. At the same time, Everton's defense has been worse than Burnley's lately. Calvert-Lewin might get to play this one, he will for sure if Alisson is still injured. It's a derby, so anything can happen, and he's probably going to get the nod here. This is perhaps Ings' last chance, but versus Norwich he has every chance to bag a goal. Jimenez is Mr. Consistent and it feels as if there's gonna be goals in this game. That was it for this video, thanks for watching and consider subscribing for future FPL advice.